One of the biggest mistakes I see when someone inherits a house in Maryland is they decide to sell it right away. There are other options, and in this video, I'm going to tell you about them. Hey, my name is Rob Scout. I'm a realtor down here in Southern Maryland with EXP Realty, and the whole goal of these videos is to help you navigate the often difficult probate process in the state of Maryland. Now, again, this is not legal advice, but I am a real estate agent that has worked with a lot of different probate properties, so hopefully these videos are helpful. Now, like I said in the beginning, a lot of people think that the first thing you should do once you're able to is sell that house so you can close out the estate. But that's not always the best way to do it. So let's go over two other options that you could explore if you have a house you're about to inherit in Maryland. Now, of course, option one is to sell it. You got to go through the proper process to be able to get it on the market. And this option makes sense for a lot of people in a lot of different situations. One of the situations that's the most common, of course, is if they're heirs. If there are multiple people that are standing to benefit from the sale of the real estate, it can be tough to do the other options I'm going to tell you because they're going to want their money or they're going to want their part of the proceeds from that transaction. Another reason why you should sell it could be because it needs a ton of work. A house that has a bunch of deferred maintenance and maybe just isn't in a desirable location as well can really be more of a headache than an asset. And if you don't have the money to fix it up, or maybe the house won't support all those renovations, like the house cost afterwards or the house price afterwards will support all those renovations, it may not be worth it. If the estate itself does not have a lot of assets in it, and the only way to pay off the debts of the estate is to sell the house, you're gonna have to sell the house. So in that case, it may not be even an option to keep it. Now, option number two is one that I think a lot of people overlook, and it's to rent it. If there are not multiple heirs in the situation, renting it, keeping it, and using it as a rental may be a really good option. Now, this makes sense when one, the house is in an area that sees good rent prices. You do not want to have a house on the rental market that's not desirable by renters. So if it's a house that's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, there's really no, job infrastructure there, it may not be a good rental, or you may not even get tenants, quality tenants that make it so the renting of the house is actually profitable. Number two, I would look at is cash flow. Now, the nice thing is you probably don't have much of a mortgage, if at all, on inherited property. So the cash flow should be pretty good. But if there's a bunch of deferred maintenance and you have to fix that up over the years you own it, it really eats into your cash flow. So I'm thinking things like a new HVAC system, water heater, plumbing, new electrical. If all those things have to be done, you got to go in eyes wide open and really understand that it really can affect your overall cash flow. And number three is, do you even want to be a landlord? If the answer is no to that and you're just doing it because you think it's the thing to do, then obviously renting it is not a good option. If you're someone that really doesn't mind taking it on by yourself, or there's a bunch of property management companies within the area where the home is, renting it may be a really good option. But if you're not someone that wants to be a landlord, then obviously renting probably is not the option for you. And option number three is keep it. And I'm seeing more and more people do this, whether they keep it as their primary residence for themselves or even a vacation home that all the heirs can go and see. This can be a great option. But the same things that we talked about before with the rental kind of apply here. One of them being deferred maintenance. If the house has not been taken care of and there's a bunch of capital improvements that need to be made, it may not be the best idea for you to keep it, especially if you don't have the money to fix it up. Number two is if you keep it and you have family that wants to use it, some people can see that as a downside because there's a lot of different personalities and people involved, and managing all those expectations and all the desired uses of it can really become cumbersome and even can hurt the family dynamics. So if you're going to keep it, go into it eyes wide open and understanding that, if you're sharing it with other people in the family, you have some sort of agreement in place of how it's going to be used just to minimize any kind of conflicts. And another thing you need to look at when you're thinking about keeping it is the carrying cost. If you're used to living in a townhouse with maybe a low HOA, and now you're thinking about keeping your parents' farm that's on the water with 20 acres, that's a lot different cost structure than a townhouse with an HOA. With a townhouse and HOA, you're pretty locked into what your monthly expenses are going to be when it comes to, different maintenance and tasks and things like that around the building and in your house. On that big of a property, you're looking at something entirely different. Whether it's stuff that's happening on the acreage or the waterfront or the house itself, numbers can add up pretty quick. And I know that's an extreme example, but it's really something you should look at. So for me, the main questions you should ask to figure out which one's the best for you is first, are there multiple heirs involved? I feel like if there are multiple heirs involved, that really kind of leans towards selling it or possibly keeping it depending on where the house is and what condition it is. But if there aren't multiple heirs involved and you're thinking about doing a rental, it may be a good choice. Number two is, of course, the location. This matters for all three of them. If it's a good rental location, you have the option to rent it. If it's a good selling location where everything's selling quickly, it might be best to sell it. And if it's a location that you and your family want to be and you and your extended family want to be, then it makes sense to keep it. And the third thing you should really consider is all the extra costs. Does it still have a mortgage? Is there a bunch of maintenance costs that come with the house and the land? And of course, would it make more sense to sell it, take the cash, and put the cash in something else compared to sitting on the property? Look, this is a really personal decision. And if you have any questions and want me to walk you through what I think is best based on your decision, reach out to me using the contact information below. I'd be happy to help any way that I possibly can. Look, I really appreciate you watching this video, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.